They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller, the 40, 30, 10, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 78 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. This is Grant. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by Brian Body Calhoun. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. A first down carry now for Miller. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On first down, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Ravens' 30-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This is it. 19. Check.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll run on first down. It's Miller into the secondary again. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
40 worth the mic.
41's the mic. Check 41.
On third down, Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
"21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry,
who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Matt Judon there to bring him down. They keep it on the ground. This time, it's Miller. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. And they'll run for it with Miller. And an alley to run. Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans push further out in front. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Grant. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, it's Grant. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
First down, Texans.
Mike spot 4. At 24.
On first down, it's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
What's that? 19. Man left. 4 down. At 59.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson throwing the out route and complete. It's Hopkins. 7 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson. His throw incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Watch that in, right.
Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line.
And the Texans first down.
39. 39. Go, go.
Check your hot read.
They'll run on first down. It's Miller. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Setting up the screen for Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Throwing on third down, Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Caught left side, Hopkins. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Dancing to his left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson now throwing again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check three, check three.
Now it's Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Jackson to throw again. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
First down, Houston.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there.
Watson on first down. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Mike 40, Mike 40. I got him.
Hey, 31.
Watson now to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, second and goal.
Switch. Watch out. Kill. I got it.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play caller, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Jackson. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike.
Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return will stop right around the 25.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Back to throw, Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
40. You must be dreaming. Check. 40's Mike. 40's 54.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
After the interception, here's Jackson, forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. That's complete to his running back, Grant. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Get in the weight room. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Reed.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Mike 41, Mike 41. Go. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine.
Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure what... That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10. at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Set, hey, no, 55, Mike. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. Second and 19. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens are able to make things a bit more respectable. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Back now in Baltimore, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
Touchdown, Houston! DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 60 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's go. Hayward. Let's go, defense. Hey.
Now Jackson going to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Check.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Third and long. It's Watson going for the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. To throw again on second down. Jackson. That's going to be caught. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Corey Grant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, You know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Houston.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Catch made there by Derby, the tight end. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message? And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Here we go, let's bring it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Let's go.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.